On today's episode of The Happy House, we visited my favorite hamburger place and learned their secrets for making hamburgers extraordinary.
All right, I gotta try this. Oh my gosh, this looks delicious.
How to create plant arrangements that are beautiful and easy to care for. Stay tuned for The Happy House.
Today we're at one of my very favorite places, the Blue Door Restaurant in Longfellow neighborhood, Minneapolis. Come inside with me and learn how to make the best hamburgers ever. I'm here at the Blue Door today, one of my very favorite restaurants, with Jeremy Warner, founder and co-owner.
Yes, yes.
And we are here to talk about this restaurant, the neighborhood feel, and of course the amazing hamburgers, and tell everybody how you came up with them and how they can create this experience at home if they can't get to the Blue Door.
Sure.
Which, if you are ever in the Minneapolis area, you should come to the Blue Door. It's hands down one of the best places to eat. So let's talk about, first of all, how the Blue Door even started. What was the concept behind it?
Pat, the other guy, and myself worked, we were bartending. I started in the kitchen, schlepping at another restaurant, and it just kind of came down to the part where I was entering the old age of my 30s now.
Okay.
You know, it just kind of came to the point where servers that we were working with would leave, they'd come back 4 years later, we were still there. And it was great. I love bartending, it was a great thing to do.
Right.
And it just kind of came down to, I knew I didn't want to go back to school. I didn't want to go work in a cubicle necessarily.
Right.
I had no other plans. I knew nothing else. I didn't know what I was going to do. I wasn't going to be able to play bass for anybody that was going to pay me that much money. So we just decided, you know, let's see if we can buy the place we were working at, or let's start something else and start fresh.
Yeah.
So ultimately, that's what happened.
Okay.
And we ended up getting like kind of the top of our list, our wish list. We went and saw a restaurant developer, seller. And it was the first piece of paper that he handed us was for that restaurant. It was actually a Puerto Rican restaurant called Puerto Azul, which, genius as we are, just translated it into English, and it became the Blue Door. Right.
Hello, it's right there.
Yeah, and that's our original shop in St. Paul.
Yes.
And that was almost 6 years ago now that's been open.
Well, this location is situated in a neighborhood, which is something I really like about it. Is that on purpose, or how do you choose where you're going to open? So this is the second location.
Yeah, well, our first one's a little tucked away. You know, it's still kind of two main streets, but we always wanted that neighborhood vibe to it.
Okay.
What we did when we approached the restaurant was like, well, this is kind of what I like to eat, and this is what I like to drink, and this is what I want to listen to and what I want to watch.
Right.
And we just kind of set up everything in that kind of guise. And Pat had already had a family at that time.
Okay.
Mine was still a couple years away before my kids were born, but it was, you know, we always wanted to be this very family-forward, very neighborhood spot. And for us, it was, we want the softball team to come in, we want the youth, you know, lacrosse team or whatever it might be to come in, and not get in a strip mall or anything like that. We wanted to, and the beauty with this place is that we took basically a decrepit, falling down building and hopefully reinvigorated it. You know, I feel like we took something that was just kind of an eyesore in the neighborhood, turned it into a viable business, and then...
It's beautiful. I mean, I see a lot of families when I come in here, and you're right, extended families. It's really neat to see. So, and then how did you design or come up with the decor? I mean, this has a lot of charm. Is any of this from the existing building that you purchased, or? Yeah,
the floors are original.
Okay.
And that's about when it stops.
Okay.
Ultimately, we wanted it to look like we had always been a restaurant here. The building's from about 1920. We like the natural woods. The chalkboard that we have on the booths is free and fun entertainment.
Tell me about the mural that's behind us. It is gorgeous. Was that always here, or?
We just completed that. Not by we, I mean I had nothing to do with it. So there's a local artist, Eric Pearson, that we actually were recommended him from another bar that's kind of serves as our office away from the office. And we brought him in. We were pretty vague. We just said we kind of wanted to capture the spirit of the neighborhood and some of the history. He came up, everything up to the waterfall, the Minnehaha Falls. We did that, and it just blew us away. and the vibrancy of it. So then we had them come back and put in the Lake Street Bridge. We love
Really
it.
fantastic. I noticed that there's a burger on here called the Cease and Desist.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
That was when we knew we hit the big time, was when you get a letter from McDonald's attorneys. So it was always something we would just make in the back and eat, and it was incredible. And Pat, the other owner, got really, really close to a little American sauce, we call it, which is maybe their secret sauce. But so we did that. We have a really good, American cheese, and we always try to strive to have everything as locally sourced as possible, good quality. I think that's kind of the cornerstone of everything we're trying to do, and everything made from scratch. But they said, yeah, it was the McBluesy. Pat's last name is McDonough, so technically we have a Mick.
Right.
And the Bluesy, we own that word. It's trademarked and everything.
Right.
So we're like, well, McBluesy, we're totally golden here.
Right.
And they said, no, we're not.
McDonald's.
And we didn't even, usually we'll maybe put up a bit of a fight, but with them, they're
pretty heavy hitter.
They're big head. Yeah, I think they've got offices and offices of attorneys, and we don't like to pay ours that much. So we just said, all right. So then we thought that cease and desist would be a pretty funny, wink and a nudge toward their attorneys.
It's also very delicious.
It is a great burger. Yeah, thank you.
Well, unfortunately, not everyone can come here, even though I encourage it strongly. So would you be willing to help me, and I brought my son with today. Come on over, Chandler. Help us learn how we can make these kind of burgers at home?
I'd be thrilled.
All right, thank you. Let's do it. We're in the kitchen with Jeremy, and we are going to learn how to make these burgers. Are you ready, Chandler? All right. Okay, so what do we do first?
Well, we're going to start with our meat.
Okay.
So it's roughly an 80-20.
Okay.
A little bit fattier. So we're just going to throw some meat in here, and we'll just kind of go from there. We have a pretty crazy meat mix that we do.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it off camera probably, and just use salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic for just some good meat flavoring. It's not meatloaf, but you kind of think of more in those terms, and then it helps it bind. I think it helps it take in temperatures if people really want it cooked heavily. Okay. It allows you to kind of get rid of all forms of pink and everything like that on the meat, and still stay really, really juicy. Got it. Even if it's in what I would claim would be way overcooked. It tastes great. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just throw in a little bit of salt, sea salt, little pepper. Little pepper. And this is just some fresh chopped garlic. Ooh, yum. We'll throw a little bit of that in. I'll just kind of blend her up. Okay. Yeah, we use our patty paper. Okay. I'll just throw a couple down. So I'll do that, make another one. All right. And then, this is how we make hundreds of burgers a day. Now we're getting fancy with this. We used to just use a bucket and just slam them down. A bucket? Okay, yeah, so but I'll just kind of, if you have a bucket, use it to make your hamburgers. It's a little more fun to do it that way than this. But we'll just kind of press them down. So we have our cheeses over there. All right, well, I am going to put this American in mine because you said how great it was. And then I for sure want to have bacon. Absolutely. Because everything is better with bacon. I feel the exact same way. So let's kind of cut this up. Do you want to do bacon on yours? Do you want bacon on yours? All right. Fine, is the Cheetos you want spicy Cheetos on yours? Do you want to try them in the middle, or should we put them on top? In the middle or on top? In the middle. In the middle. Let's try it. I think it might be fantastic. Maybe crumble those up. Yeah, let's get them in there. We can get more in there. Actually, on top. Oh, how about we do a little bit? Let's do a little each. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Are you a fan of the spicy Cheetos? And the jelly. And jelly? We'll throw some jelly on top. On top. That'll go on top. Okay. Sounds great. So then we'll make our top patties. Okay. Whatever burger we have, there's probably 12 that never made it. Right. You know, or something that was, it's made it, but it's on its 23rd time that we've actually made it. Okay. So there's a lot of trial and error, and this might actually be on the menu tomorrow. We'll just see how it works. The Chandler burger. I dig it though. Mm-hmm. All right. So then we just kind of take your top burger, and you can try this if you want. Okay. And we just put them on top. Okay. And I keep the paper on. We can grab another one. No, that's fine. Yeah, here, throw it on there. Okay. And then I just squish it. And I find, like, I try to use this thumb muscle there. Okay. And I hold it, and I just kind of work it in circles. Try squishing with your thumb. But I think the patty paper really kind of helps. It does help. And then for us, we might have 20 on the line, but it helps to keep them separate as well. And you just kind of rock it in your thumb a little bit like that. Oh. You just kind of keep going around. It's almost like a little ravioli. And then we'll peel it up.
Yeah, peel the paper off.
Yeah.
These are handy, these little patty papers.
They're fantastic. I know, they're the lifeblood here. And I'll put yours on the back.
Okay.
We use an incredibly sophisticated toothpick method, so we know what's what. Is what we use.
So I'm going to put this right here.
Throw it right here. I think it might get a little hot over there.
Okay. The jam goes on after, I think. Okay.
All right. And we'll do anywhere from 6 to 7 minutes aside.
Okay.
Seems to be about right.
All right.
Because it hasn't been used all day, it's probably quite hot.
Okay.
And it'll probably cook quicker than that.
So our burgers are just about ready. We did about 6 to 7 minutes aside. And what are we gonna do to these buns?
Yeah, you know, I think the bun is often overlooked, but it's an incredibly important aspect of your burger. These are locally made egg buns is what we like to use. I mean, there's pretzel or potato or really anything that you think is gonna be great. Butter is always another key for us. These butter wheels are fantastic. I know. When I'm at home, I just use a knife, and you know, it's not anything is there. But we'll toast those up. What I'm always striving to do is have them look like, I want them to look like French toast, kind of when they're done. I think, but kind of to each their own with that as well. I'm gonna pull these so they don't get too hot.
Okay.
So these aren't the most attractive buns I've ever seen, but I think they're gonna taste fantastic.
They're gonna be great. What do you think, Chandler?
Are you a pickle man, Chandler? Can you throw a little pickles on there? Or no.
No, I'm a pickle fan. Can I put the? Where's my bun?
All right.
Where's my?
Put yours here.
When are we
Oh,
gonna
is this
put
one
the
mine?
jam on?
You can use this one right here.
Oh, okay. I'm an extra pickle person. Okay. All
There
right.
you are. So you were thinking maybe jelly.
You want jelly with your and then some more Cheetos?
That's fantastic. One of our biggest burgers that we have is called the Jiffy, and we do peanut butter, pepper jack cheese, there's pickle on there, and there's bacon. And you get a lot of sweet and savory, and it's just fantastic. But then we had some pretty creative, enterprising patrons that would come in, and they call it the third grader, and they would do peanut butter and jelly right on top of the burger. That's actually, it's amazing. It's really fantastic.
You want to try that?
Or you want to just
jelly?
Let's throw a little jelly on there. I think it's good. You want to do it, or you want me to do it, or what do you think? How about you do it?
Yeah.
All right, here's the jelly for you. You got the top of your bun right here. And anything else for you?
Yeah, I am going to have. I'm a veggie person, so I'm going to have tomatoes.
All right, that looks good.
And lettuce. That looks delicious.
Yeah, the shredded works great too. This is just kind of your basic bib lettuce that you can get at the store, and
it's nice because it stays in one piece. I mean,
it's nice, yeah.
When you have a lot of sauces, I think the shredded is good because then it stays in there.
Right.
Okay.
He's doing a good job.
That's some jelly.
And you were thinking maybe a little bit more extra
Spicy Cheetos?
spicy Cheetos on top.
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Maybe we'll have them stick right into the jelly. And
Yeah, that I've always wanted to try that.
Because who wouldn't eat spicy Cheetos and jelly?
well, I know exactly the next burger I'm going to be making. It's going to look a lot like this.
I've tried almost everything in ketchup. Why not start doing jelly?
Ready
I
for
know,
this,
why
then?
not?
Should we throw it on there?
Yep.
Oh,
Chandler.
look at that. Nice crunch to it when you put it down.
All right.
We'll cut her in half and see how it looks.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll be pretty fantastic.
Oh my. Yeah.
There you got that. You got the cheese in there. All right. Try yours as well. You might get a little bit of jelly and Cheeto residue,
That's
but
all right.
I think it's only going to add personally.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we had a pretty hot grill, but whoops.
Ooh, that looks delicious.
But I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be really
A
good.
little bit of cheese there. So I think,
Those look fantastic.
yeah, there you have it.
Okay, it's the moment of truth. Tasting time. All right, Chandler, I'm gonna help you with yours because these are messy. I'm gonna help you first. You ready? Take a bite.
Wow, all right.
Nice work. And
I think I'm going to follow in your footsteps and try one of those as well.
what's the verdict?
All right.
All right, I gotta try this. Oh my gosh, this looks delicious. And how are the Cheetos?
That's great.
Way to go.
You get the crunch in there?
Thank you so much for showing us. To learn more about the Blue Door and how we made these burgers, visit our website. I'm at Tonkadale Greenhouse with Jesse today, and we are going to talk all about succulents. So first of all, Jesse, what is it that defines a succulent? What makes it that kind of plant?
Well, succulents, I would say as a group, have very waxy leaves that store water.
Oh, perfect. So like
simple.
aloe might be a succulent. Okay.
Definitely.
And you also mentioned earlier when we were talking that they're fairly easy to care for. Is that true?
I say they're definitely low maintenance, low watering. It's almost like the less you care for them, the better they do.
Oh, wow. That is my kind of plant because I am not that great at growing plants. So it feels like I'm hearing more and more about succulents. Even my 15-year-old daughter loves succulents. So have you noticed a trend or?
Yeah, I think they're definitely retro and they're coming back.
Well, let's learn how to make a container. You have a beautiful assortment you put together here, and it's like a lot of different leaf colors and different heights. Is that important?
Yeah, definitely. It's just like when you're doing your outdoor containers for spring, you want something with height, something with drape, and something to fill. Succulents are really cool because you're not necessarily having flowers for color, you're having the foliage for color. There's all kinds of lime greens, purples, silvery grays, and blues.
Which is nice because there's actually then really no downtime. Like when you have a flowering plant, I mean, it flowers and then it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yes. So, okay, great.
Yeah. So,
when you have this beautiful container too, I mean, I like the green. This is going to be so pretty. I can already tell when it's put together.
Yeah. So what you want to do is first fill your container with either a regular potting soil or a special cactus or succulent mix.
Okay. Which is, do you recommend the cactus succulent mix?
I would say if you err on the side of overwatering, to use a cactus mix, something that'll dry out faster. But regular potting soil is just fine.
Okay. And then this obviously we have drainage in the bottom here.
Hole,
okay.
And a saucer. That's great.
Perfect.
So we can just get started. Let's start with our tallest item first.
Okay.
Usually put that towards the back.
Okay.
That's called a pencil cactus.
Okay. Pencil cactus.
It's in the euphorbia family.
Wow. We are learning about succulents today.
Yes.
Okay. And so I just put the whole. It does feel the soil feels quite dry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
so do I break it up just like I would a normal plant?
Definitely.
Okay. And then deposit it in here. Perfect.
Great.
Okay.
So then, we might want something near it to kind of, hold it up in contrast. This is a type of sedum with some pretty orange on it.
And is this like a draping
Yeah, you
one?
can kind of angle it over to the side.
Okay, let me do that. This is beautiful. These do feel really dry. Okay.
Yeah, they're all dry for us to make these guys stand up straight.
Okay.
So yeah, we just keep packing them in.
I kind of like this on this side to balance that. Do you like that?
That's a type of kind of like a portulaca.
A what?
Like a moss rose in the moss rose family.
Okay. Can you say that?
I don't know the exact name.
Let's see if it says on here. I
think the tags just say general succulents.
Succulents.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of a trailing guy.
I like it. And I'm going to be able to keep this alive, you think?
I think so.
Okay. Oh, that's shaping up nicely.
So then we have this is a calancho, and it's called flapjacks, and it gets really pretty red around.
That would look nice, maybe even
maybe in the middle, kind of to hold up.
Oh, perfect.
His friend, pencil cactus, who's falling over.
He's all over the place. He's all willy-nilly. Okay. All right.
And then we just have a few more.
So this container is really full, but that's going to be okay?
Yeah, it's okay. You can kind of trim them back to keep them in shape. We do have some space in between them, which is great.
Okay.
It is gardening, so indoor gardening, so you might at some point have to take them out,
transplant,
create 2 containers, buy a few new fresh ones, all that jazz.
All right.
So then we just have a few left. Maybe we just arrange these 3 smaller ones in the front.
Okay.
This is another type of calancho with these fuzzy leaves, and I love the brown.
Oh yeah. Oh, they are really fuzzy. So that is smaller for sure. Okay.
Then this is an echeveria. All the succulents that kind of look like a flower head, those are all in the echeveria family.
Okay.
So you can sound really awesome when you're asking for an echeveria.
I am going to try to sound awesome. I sound awesome all the time.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm going to put this right in the front.
Sure.
Like that. Okay.
And then lastly, another little blue sedum.
I like this.
He's quite cute.
Yes, he is. Okay. So those are all, wow. I was thinking that they wouldn't all fit. That was easy. That was very easy. Okay. Now do we fill them with soil?
Yeah, we just edited a little bit here to make sure everybody's, so We need
stable.
to just kind of make sure everybody's covered with dirt. We had plenty of dirt in there. We might put a few more handfuls just around the edges.
Well, especially this guy at the back. Yeah.
You know, to get everybody
there.
nice and secure. You know, you'd want to water it in really well the first time.
Okay.
And then you don't have to, but if you wanted to, you can go. You could put some.
That would look pretty because
rock on top.
We've got the green pot and then all this green. It might kind of break it up a little bit.
So we can just cover the soil with rock. It makes it look kind of deserty, maybe. You could use sand on top, or you could use different sized rocks, which would be kind of cute too, or objects.
That looks pretty.
Yeah.
Well, this has been easy, and this is beautiful, and I do think I'll be able to keep it alive based on what you've told me. How much light, though? Is there a lot of light?
I'd say bright indirect light is probably the best.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for hosting us today and giving us all this great information on succulents. To learn more about succulents and how to grow your own succulent garden, visit our website. I'm at Creative Kid Stuff with today's toy pick. Today is all about gardening. I've got this deluxe root veer garden here with me, and it is just such a great activity. Everything you need to plant a garden that grows radishes, onions, and carrots is included in this pack. There's actually peat pellets in here that expand, and then you simply plant the seeds. And then there's also a draining tray on the bottom so plants can't get overwatered. It's got this neat carrying handle, so you're able to move it from place to place to give it the sunlight you need. And then kids can actually watch things grow right before their very eyes. So it's easy, fun, contained, and it can be done in the summer or the winter, which is something else that's really great about it. To look even closer at things, we've got this gigantic magnifying glass. You can use it to examine your plants as they grow. You can also take it outside, but the great thing about this giant magnifying glass is it actually unfolds, has a nifty stand, so kids can actually move things in and view them while maybe even drawing what they see or just taking a closer look at everything, snapping a picture of it maybe through the magnifying glass so they can remember how that looks. These are two fun and educational ways for kids to get started with science. To learn more about science products at Creative Kid Stuff and to register to win this great science kit and magnifying glass, visit our website. Coming up next week, we are at Tonkadale Greenhouse with Jessie, and she is going to teach Chandler and Ella and I how to make a fairy garden.
A fun activity to teach your kids about gardening. Create a fairy garden with them. Are you thinking about getting a pet? Learn how to make the best choice for your family with tips from the Humane Society. Coming up next.